Stations are places where people wait while they are going from one place to another. A school bus is like a station. People wait at train stations or bus stations or airports. Think of some stations where you have been. Stations are also places where people take time to think about Jesus as he went to die on a cross. There are stations of the cross. They show us how much Jesus loved us. This is a good time to look at what is in our hearts. How many times do we forget that Jesus lives in our heart? Listen as a story is told of the walk with Jesus Christ. What is your heart telling you each time Jesus is being nailed to the cross? Station 1. Jesus stands before a judge, Pontius Pilate. The judge tells Jesus that he will die. Look at Jesus. Jesus is standing before angry people who are yelling and saying mean, hurtful things to him. They scream at him. Some of them tell lies about him, saying that he did bad things. But Jesus stays quiet, even though he knows that he will be hurt. He knows that God is with him. He even asks God to help him forgive the people who are yelling and telling lies about him.
Look at your heart. Has anyone ever said mean or hurtful things about you? Or has anyone ever told a lie about you? If someone did that to you, look how your heart and see how you felt. Maybe you were scared or hurt, or maybe you felt very angry. When you see how you felt, show your heart to Jesus. See Jesus loving you when you show him when that happens in your heart. Then, when you are ready, you can ask Jesus to help him make your heart more like his. Maybe you want to ask Jesus to help you to remember that God is always with you.
Station 2. Soldiers put a heavy cross on Jesus' shoulders. Look at Jesus. When the soldiers put a big, heavy cross on Jesus' shoulders, Jesus does not fight with them or say angry words to them. He knows that he has to carry the cross a long way, and that way will be very hard for him at times. But Jesus knows that God is with him, and he asks God to help him carry the cross even though it is heavy.
Look at your heart. Have you ever had something happen that was very hard for you? Sometimes children are very sick, or someone in their family is very sick. Sometimes older children do not treat younger children nicely. Sometimes we can't just have things the way we want them. Take some time to look at what your heart is like when this happens. Then, when you see what your heart is like, show your heart to Jesus. See Jesus loving you when you show him what happens in your heart. When you're ready, you can ask Jesus to help make your heart more like his.
Station 3. Jesus falls the first time. Look at Jesus. Jesus is so tired as he walks along the road with a heavy cross on his shoulders. The cross keeps pushing into his shoulder, and the stones on the road hurt his feet. People yell and push him. The soldiers shout for him to move faster. Then Jesus falls, and the soldiers yell at him more. How tired Jesus is. Jesus prays in his heart, God help me remember that you are here.
Look at your heart. Did you ever fall when you were playing, or when you were helping with something? Falling really hurts, doesn't it? When people make mistakes, it is like falling. And when that happens, their hearts sometimes feel like it is hurt. Can you remember a time when you fell, when your heart felt hurt? As you remember that time, and look how your heart felt, show your heart to Jesus. See Jesus loving you as you show him your heart. When you are ready, you can ask Jesus to help make your heart more like his.
Station 4. Jesus meets his mother. As Jesus walks slowly with the cross on his shoulder, a woman comes up to him. It's Jesus' mother, Mary. How sad for them to see each other now. Mary feels so sad because she sees how much he is suffering, and Jesus sees the sadness Mary feels. Even though they both know that God is with them, they can't even say anything to each other because they are so sad.
Look at your heart. Have you ever been very sad? Or do you know someone who has been very sad? Being sad can really hurt someone's heart a lot, can it? Sometimes our heart are sad because we cannot be with someone we love. If you can remember a time when you were very sad, show Jesus what your heart looked like when you felt the same way. Picture Jesus loving you when you show him your sad heart. Then, when you are ready, you can ask Jesus to help make your heart more like his.
Station 5. A man, Simon, helps Jesus carry his cross. Look at Jesus. Jesus is so tired that the soldiers know he cannot carry the heavy cross by himself. So they look around and see someone who looks strong enough to help Jesus carry his cross. This person's name is Simon. Jesus just looks at Simon and quietly whispers, "Thank you." Then they continue on the long road carrying the cross together.
Look at your heart. Sometimes helping someone can be very difficult for so many different reasons. Maybe you haven't finished something that you would like to do. When someone asks you for help, or maybe you just don't want to feel like helping that person. Can you think of a time when you were asked to help with someone and did not want to help? Show Jesus what is it like when that happens. And picture Jesus loving you as you show him your heart. Maybe you can hear Jesus whisper, "Thank you for helping." When you're ready, you can ask Jesus to help you have a helping heart.
Station 6. Woman Veronica wipes Jesus' face. Look at Jesus. Jesus is hot, tired, and sweating. His hair is all tangled, and he is covered in dust from the long walk. Suddenly, a woman pushes her way out of the crowd and stands in front of Jesus. She takes a clean cloth and gently wipes Jesus' face. Jesus is so thankful that he leaves a picture of his face on her cloth.
Look at your heart. Have you ever helped someone? Have you ever done something that helped someone feel better? Sometimes you may have done something that you thought was very small or unimportant. Bringing a glass of water or a juice to someone, or giving someone a helping hand with a chore. Maybe you just smiled at someone who looked sad. As you think of those times helped, show Jesus your heart. As you picture Jesus loving you, maybe you can also picture Jesus leaving a face on your heart. What a wonderful heart you have.
Station 7. Jesus falls a second time. Look at Jesus. How very tired, weak, and sad Jesus is now. Even though he keeps trying to walk with the heavy cross, he can't keep going. The noise from the crowd and from the soldiers makes him feel even worse. Then Jesus falls, because he can't take another step.
Look at your heart. Have you ever had a hard time with something? Maybe you can't do something the way you want. Or if you feel as you keep messing up on something. How does your heart feel when that happens? Maybe your heart feels the same way as Jesus' heart felt when he fell the second time. When you show Jesus how your heart felt, picture Jesus loving you. Show Jesus know how your heart is when that feels. His heart probably felt the same way.
Station 8. Jesus meets the women who are crying. After Jesus gets up, he continues on the road carrying his heavy cross. He passes some women who are crying because they are so sad to see Jesus suffer. But instead of thinking only of himself and how bad he feels, Jesus tells the women not to keep crying because of him. He tells them instead to take care of others and especially to take care of their children.
Look at your heart. Sometimes it is easy just to think about ourselves, about what is not going the way we want it, or about the problems that we have. It is very hard then to think about other people. How does your heart look when that happens? When you only think about yourself. Show your heart to Jesus and picture Jesus loving you with your heart. When you are ready, you can ask Jesus to help you make his heart more like his. A heart that thinks about other people and remember other people. That kind of heart that Jesus has.
Station 9. Jesus falls the third time. Look at Jesus. Jesus is so tired now that he can hardly take another step. It is hard for him to breathe. He has been walking a long time along the dusty road, and he has no energy left. He just can't go on anymore. Then Jesus falls down in the street for the third time. He is so very tired. Jesus asks God to help him, and Jesus gets up again, even though it is hard for him to do.
Look at your heart. When we really try to do our best and have not been able to succeed, it is easy to feel like what Jesus did. Sometimes other people just keep yelling about something we do, or sometimes other people make fun of the way we want to do something. Can you remember a time when you felt this tired in your heart? When you seemed to be having a sad or a hard time with someone or something? Look how your heart felt, and show your heart to Jesus. When you are ready, ask God to help you when you feel this way.
Station 10. Jesus' clothes are taken away. Look at Jesus. Finally, Jesus reaches the hill that is the end of the road he has to walk. Jesus knows that he will die here. But before he dies, the soldiers will do more to him. They pull off his long robe, and almost all his clothes are taken from him. Jesus stands in front of the crowd with only a small piece of cloth covering part of his body. Jesus asks God to help him remember that he is not alone, that God is with him through all of this.
Look at your heart. Is it hard for you to share or to give something away that you like? Do you sometimes like to keep everything for yourself? Do you ever let something of yours be the bad reason or bad feelings or bad words between you and someone else? If you remember a time when something like this happens, remember how your heart felt. Then show your heart to Jesus. You can ask Jesus to help you have a helping heart more like his.
Station 11. Jesus is nailed to the cross. Look at Jesus. How much Jesus hurts as the soldiers nail him to the cross. He hurts all over. He is tired and thirsty. He knows that he is going to die. But he looks at the people who have hurt him, and instead of saying bad things to those people, Jesus asks God to forgive them. He looks at his mother and tells her to take care of others. Even when he is dying, Jesus is thinking of other people.
Look at your heart. Can you think of a time when someone hurt with unkind words or actions? Was it hard for you to forgive that person? Jesus knows that forgiving is hard to do. That's why Jesus will help you change your heart when you ask him to forgive someone.
Station 12. Jesus dies on the cross. Finally, after the long walk, after falling 3 times, after having men beat him, after being nailed to the cross and suffering on the cross, Jesus bows his head and dies. Now this part of his life is over. There is nothing left for Jesus to do or to give. Jesus has given his life for all of us.
Look at your heart. Did you ever feel that you wanted to make something better? Or that if you only tried harder, something would change that you want to change? Or maybe you felt that you did not try hard enough at something and something bad happened? If you can think of a time like that, then show Jesus your heart and let him love you. When you are ready, you can ask Jesus to help your heart be more like his.
Station 13. Jesus is taken down from the cross. Look at Jesus. Now Jesus' lifeless body is taken down from the cross. No more pain or suffering for Jesus. All the pain is over. Mary, Jesus' mother, holds him tenderly in her arms. How sad she is, and how sad Jesus' friends are. They are crying as they hold his body.
Look at your heart. Is there someone you love has died? When you remember that person, how does your heart look? You can show Jesus your heart and show Jesus what you miss about that person who died. Jesus knows how your heart looks and loves you when you show him your heart. He can even help your heart become more like his.
Station 14. Look at Jesus. Jesus' friends wash his body and wrap it in a clean sheet. They touch his body gently, and then they put his body into a tomb. When they are finished, they push a very large stone over the entrance, so that no one can go inside. Now there is darkness in the tomb where Jesus' body lies, and all his friends go home because they are very sad and tired.
Look at your heart. Can you remember a time when you were very sad to say goodbye to someone? Maybe you were leaving that person only for a short time, or maybe it was for a long time. Maybe you said goodbye to someone you loved when that person died. Take a few moments to think about of those times you were sad saying goodbye. And show your heart to Jesus how you felt. Try picture Jesus loving you and begin with your sad heart. Let Jesus love you a lot. Jesus knows how sad your heart is.